So, you want to get into reading, but you have absolutely no idea what to read. Here are my go-to books that I tell people they should read if they want to get into reading. I go to these books every single time. These are my first recommendations to people, and I'm going to be giving them all to you. So we're just going to dive right into these books because I can talk a lot about them, and I don't want to be here for like 20 minutes. So, yeah, let's go ahead and just get started. So, the first book that I have for you guys is The Sun Is Also the Star by Nicola Yoon. This book is absolutely amazing. I watched the movie before I read the book, but all of you should read the book before you go watch the movie. The movie is a cinematic masterpiece, but this book is a beautiful literature masterpiece. But in this book, you have Natasha and Daniel. Natasha is like science, I don't really believe in love, whatever, blah, blah, blah. Daniel is the romantic. I love boys who are the romantics, and I love girls who are like the I hate love, like that. That is this book. It's beautiful. It is set in New York City. They have a day together and it's just so amazing. Seriously, please read this book and watch the movie. It's so good. Tropes are grumpy sunshine, but the girl's grumpy and the guy is sunshine. But that's the biggest trope in here. I can't really think of any other ones on top of my head, but it's still really good and you all should go read it. Thank you very much. Next book. So the next one is also a YA romance one, and that is The Problem with Forever by Jennifer L. Armentrout. So in this one you have Mallory and then you have Ryder. They knew each other whenever they were little, and now they're both in high school. They haven't seen each other in like 5 years or something like that, and you see them fall in love. You see growth. It's very much trauma bonding in this one, but it's still really freaking good. It makes you just want to like cry and scream and like punch people, but also like hug them. So yeah, this book is great. I love it. But Mallory's like super shy and Ryder's very outgoing, and they just are trying to deal with their past. It's childhood, friends to lovers. It is trauma bonding. It is beautiful. It is shy girl and outgoing guy. I think if you want to dive into like the more kind of serious topic kind of stuff, this is the first book that you should start with. So if you're just looking for that, if you're looking for a nice little high school love, start here. Yeah, these next ones are the last like YA ones I have for you guys. I'm pretty sure you guys will know that this will be in the video, but it's the Selection series. Now, I read every single one of these. I actually haven't read the novellas that go in this series. I don't know why. I just never read them. I want to. Maybe I'll reread these books this year. Anyway, the main series is this one. It's the Selection, the Elite, and the One. Think like Hunger Games, but without all the death, and add royalty into it. I know that you guys know what this series is about, but it's so good. Like, if you're just wanting to kind of dive into a really fast-paced series that just really is not slow, that has a lot of action, has a lot of drama, has just so much like character development as well, pick up these books. They're so good. You have America's Singer and then Prince Maxon. You have 35 girls who go to this competition or whatever in the castle. They're picked out randomly, you know, like by cast. So I think there's like 1 through 8 or 1 through 6 or something like that. She's a 5, so she's like super poor, and she gets picked to go to this castle and compete for Prince Maxon's heart with 35 other girls. It's, what is that, like The Bachelor, The Bachelorette? The Bachelor, but royalty. Yeah, it's so good. It's literally so good. And then once you're done with the main series, you can get into this one. This is the little spin-off series. So it's The Heir and the Crown. So basically this is like The Bachelorette. It's 35 suitors, 1 princess, same concept, same everything. And yeah, you should all read these. If you don't want to read these, that's fine. But if you're gonna read these, pick up the entire series because you're gonna fly through these like nobody's business. So those are my YA books, and they're really good. And if you're just wanting some YA little romance reads or just like fast-paced type of stuff, read that one. So the first ones that I have is Anything Colleen Hoover. I have not read All Your Perfects yet. Heard amazing things. It's on my TBR. I'm reading it in the next like 3 weeks. I'm not prepared, but I am so excited. But I have read It Ends With Us and Ugly Love. These 2 books made me cry. These books are very heavy, so look up trigger warnings for them. But Anything Colleen Hoover is like the perfect way to step into reading. It Ends With Us is pretty much the reason why I got obsessed with reading. Like Twilight is a big part of it, but like It Ends With Us really got me into romance. It really got me into like a lot of books and everything. Everybody says that this is like a romance read. It's so much more than a romance read, but it got me into like like that book talk world of like recommendations and everything, I would definitely look up trigger warnings for this. I seriously would. But if you're really wanting to get into reading, pick up this book first. It is so incredibly amazing, and there's going to be a second book to this series coming out in October. So go read this. Pick it up, go read it. Then you have Ugly Love. Again, look up trigger warnings for this book, but it's so incredibly good. I think either one of these will get you into reading. You should pick up Ugly Love as well. Like pick one of these up. Thank you very much. Colleen Hoover is amazing. I promise you, you will fly through her books and you will not want them to end, and they'll take you like 2 hours to read. If you really want to get into romance, I definitely recommend The Love Hypothesis by Ali Hazelwood. This book is incredibly good. I don't know why it took me so long to pick this up and to read it, but it's definitely worth the hype. It's definitely amazing, and you should all go read it. So in this one, you have Olive Smith and you have Adam Carlson. Adam Carlson is a professor and Olive is a student. He is not her professor though. Olive is a PhD student, let me clarify, and he is not her professor, but they start fake dating, and you're like, how does that work? It works. Okay, Adam Carlson is amazing. Olive is a little odd, but we love her. If you're looking for like a protective man, start here. So good. Oh, and then also Love on the Brain is supposed to be coming out this year as well, which is the second book to this, but it follows like 2 other people, but it's still like women in STEM. So I recommend reading this one first. So now you're wanting to get into like series. These books can be read as standalones for both of these series, but I recommend reading them in order because the story just makes so much sense. Because like the storylines, like they start to intertwine a little bit. So I really recommend reading these in order. But the first one that I have for you is the Twisted series by Anna Huang. So we have Twisted Love, which is brother's best friend, which is my favorite trope of all time. You also have Touch Her and You Die. You also have Grumpy Sunshine. Alex and Ava can have my whole entire heart. This is my favorite book in the entire freaking world. 5 stars. I love this book. It's my favorite out of the entire series. I wish it was bigger, but you will fly through this book. It's so good. So that's the first one. And then the second one is Twisted Games. This one's Bodyguard. It's Forced Proximity. You have Bridget and Rise. I know a lot of people were saying like his name is Reese. I call him Rise. He will forever be Rise to me. Go read this one. It's also very, very good. I gave this one a 4.5 out of 5. It didn't hit me the same way that this one hit me, but it was still amazing. And then the third book in this series, there's going to be a fourth one. It's coming out in June, I believe. But the third book in this series is Twisted Hate by Anna Huang. This one's like a chunky one. This one's 500 pages, but it's amazing. So this is very much enemies to lovers. It's enemies with benefits. Hold there. Enemies with benefits. Yeah. It is also best friend's brother. Yeah. Literally amazing. So you have Josh Chen and Jules Ambrose. It is not exactly what I expected either, because I just expected them to like go at each other's throats, but like the banter in this is amazing, and then just what you find out about both of them and how they're both like helping each other is amazing.
I really need to learn more adjectives on how to describe books, because I've said the same like phrase, it's amazing and it's so good, so many times. I am so sorry.
I don't know what I expected from this book, but I'm very, very glad that it wasn't what I originally expected, and it was just so much more. But if you really want to get into a series that is just like amazing and makes you fall in love within the first like 50 pages, pick up these. Pick up the Twisted series by Anna Huang. It's just beautiful. And the fourth one is coming out soon, which is Twisted Lies. Yeah. And then the last series that I have, these can all be read as standalones, but I very much recommend reading them in order, and that is the Off Campus and Briar U series. Funny enough, I originally read the first 2 books of the Briar U series first. So you have The Chase, and then you also have The Risk. This one is very much Grumpy Sunshine. It is opposite attract. Amazing. I love Summer and Fitz. Amazing. Then you have The Risk, and it's like, I don't want to say like bad girl, bad boy, but it's like kind of that. It's sports romance. All of these are sports romances because they're all hockey players. These 2 books, really good. Briar U, it's a spin-off series, but it's just as amazing. And then you have the original Off Campus series. So you have The Deal. This one is Hannah and Garrett's book. This one was not my favorite though. I will say it was like 3 out of 5 stars for me, but I would still recommend reading it for the sake of like the series and everything. But then you have The Mistake. This one is Friends to Lovers. I freaking love this. It's amazing. Then there's The Score. The Goal, and The Legacy. The Legacy is the epilogue little book that they have for this entire series, and I have not read these two yet, but I'm going to. These books, I literally read them all in one sitting, which is why I try not to read them all at once, because I genuinely love these series so much that I don't want to read them all at once, and I know that I could in like a week, because I sit there and I read them all until I'm finished. You want a series like that literally just has you like sitting there for hours, then pick them up. They're each like 350 pages, okay? It takes like 3 hours to read one of them. Genuinely recommend reading them. Like seriously, if you want really fast-paced romance series that's just absolutely amazing, then pick these up. Not to mention that they are all hockey players. Yeah. No, my camera started moving earlier. I'm so sorry about that. But those are all the books I have for today. All of these recommendations, you should go read them. But yeah, you can pick any one of these books to get started with reading, and then you're just going to want to read them all, and you're going to fall in love with reading, and then you're going to find other books, and it's just going to be a snowball effect, you know? So pick up at least one of these, and happy reading, I guess. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you all in my next video. Peace out.